the boss's monitor's back on the bench again, and same problem, backlight on again, and obviously take off the stand. We need to get to a screw that's underneath there before we can remove the bezel. I'm under a fair degree of pressure today, and have been all week. Really annoying because I can't get on with my hobbies. I've had to push everything over to one side on the bench, which gives a really good clear up. Oh, there we go. There's 4 screws holding this bracket on. And there we go. It's this screw that's got to come out, must come out. Now we can flip it over. And sometimes it's nice to sort of, if the plastic's not giving or it's pretty cold, is to warm up the edge of the plastic to sort of hand or blood heat. Oh, don't get it too hot, just as warm as your hands really. Just makes the plastic a little bit more flexible, but today the temperature's not too bad. So hopefully I can put it apart. Just without breaking it. Oh, sounds awful every time you do that, doesn't it? Oh, come around here. No. No. I need to warm it up. I have a little hot air dryer thing was given to me, and goes warm air, well hot air, but we just want to warm it up a little bit round here. It's only mildly warm, you don't want it hot. There we go. Now, I'll spin it round and see if I can get the rest of it off. Just warm her up. Might be better off if I tried this side. Give it another go. Work on this corner. I'm keeping my hand there so that I know that I'm not blowing too hot an air on the screen. Amazing. It just doesn't sort of don't want to come on that corner, does it? Right, I have to warm it up a bit. Let's give it a go. Alright, all off. And I don't appear to have broken anything. Amazing. Put that out of harm's way. That's it. Alright, put this over to one side safely. Turn the monitor over now, I'm gripping everything because if I don't, it'll all fall apart. And I should be able to just lift the back cover off and leaving everything behind. And we now find ourselves in a situation by where we've got to remove the screen and the connectors again. There's a little sort of spring on the top of these, plastic spring, that you have to sort of depress them, then pull them out. Otherwise they'll never come out and you end up breaking them. Broke that one got broke. That's out. Right. Remember, white, black, pink, yellow, white, black, pink, yellow. disconnect the screen if we can. The connector to the screen. Two little metal lugs there and there. Do we pull them out? Or do we press them in? Perhaps we press them in. I don't know. That's it. That's out. Now we can turn this over. Access to the board. Same old procedure again. Best to move that out of the way. Put the screen in a place of safety, because we don't want to lose the screen. This is the board we want to look at, so I presume we're going to take it out. There's this has to be unscrewed. Now the reason behind that is that the socket is mounted on the board, so when we unscrew these, you know, well, the socket comes with it. Now, don't go thinking that this is a plug, because it isn't. It's sort of a header sort of pin. Well, I don't think it's a plug. I may be wrong. Anyway, there's no real need to take it off because, well, last time we did this, it was these two capacitors that got changed, and the question is, have they gone again? Oh, without further ado, we'll take them out of the socket and have a look. The other thing that's worrying me about these is that I did buy them new, and sometimes, you know, sort of new components that you buy, bear in mind everything's manufactured in China, you can't sort of guarantee the quality from whom you're buying it. So, let's see, we'll take this one out first. Put a bit of solder on there. Out. Alright, let's take the other one out. Oh, big blob of solder. Yeah. Oops. going to have to check these capacitors before I put them in, because I don't trust anything. I'll put 2 new ones in. And of course they're going to last a couple of months before it happens again, and that'll be down to the quality of the components, I think, which are probably rubbish. If you were doing this professionally, you'd be better off if you bought your components from a proper component supplier. Now, in the past, when I was at work, we used to use radio spares, or I should say RS components, and there are others out there, Farnell. Yeah, this is 10 reading, well, it's reading 13, but we'll take for instance that it's such a low picofarads that they're both reading the same, and we seem to be reading about 3 picofarads high, probably due to the test leads. I really do wish I could have swapped this out with the components I recovered off the other board, because they will be quality components. These, I have no idea as to the quality of them. In fact, it's only 2 months since I last repaired it, with the same fault. Suggests that the capacitors are no good. Or alternatively, there may be another fault that's driving them to extinction. Now, you may think it's not essential to take the board out, but I do, because flux will have travelled through to both sides of the board. But while it's there, I'll just clean it off. I use isopropanol. Good quality, as I say, 99% industrial strength, whatever that means. And all this does is loosen up the flux, and you've really got to sort of mop the flux up while it's loose. Now, this isn't all flux. This part of this is discoloration due to the heat of the burnt out capacitors. But nonetheless, it needs to be cleaned up. You might be able to see the discoloration in the tissue as I'm mopping it up. Just put my headset on to have a close look, a really close look. That looks awful. Do you know, guys, I think I might have forgot to clean it up the first time. And that might be what promoted the fault, I don't know. Something caused the problem. Yeah. Just remember, when you've got sort of high voltage components, there's probably about 1 kilovolt across here when it's working, as they're sort of specified for 3 kilovolts, the capacitors. having anything that would conduct is a bit of a no-no. I'm sure that burnt flux will do that. I did discuss the carbonising of the PCB. Can also be an insulation problem. Alright, let's it's fairly clean. One last dab at it. The discoloration that's there now is due to the heat when it went faulty in the first instance. Okay, that's nice and clean. Let's do the other one. I'm going to take it out of the board again. That's a clean bit of tissue. Mop up the residue of the flux. Have a close look with my little pick. Yeah, I'm sure I left it on there last time. What an idiot. Yeah. No better than that. Okay. Sometimes you find boards have conformal coating on there to aid insulation properties. As I haven't got any, I'm not going to bother. And the board doesn't seem to have any on it in any case. Okay. And have a little look. The board seems to be more discoloured than the other one. I've got a toothbrush here, a little bit more aggressive than the other brush that I've been using. Not necessarily a good thing, but not necessarily a bad thing. Depends whether you're cleaning your teeth, doesn't it? Right. Right. Get a brush and dry brush any residual sort of paper tissue away. Now, that wasn't a sensible thing to do. In any case, I've come to the end of it. I need to buy some more. Where's the screwdriver gone? I want to take the board out and quickly look at the other side. Fairly discoloured around these points here, but I don't think it's flux. I'll get a little bit more flux out. You can see where the alcohol has been flying through the board. Yeah. Okay, let's get to work. I'm not going to go silly around here. There's no need, and I don't really want to sort of start damaging these transformers. The insulation on the wire on the transformers, what's wound on, will probably dissolve to the alcohol. Okay, is that done? I'm satisfied now. Yeah, I'm a fussy guy when it comes to these sort of things. Like I say, it's all in the detail. Besides that, it does give you an idea of a better way of disassembly, well, taking it apart and putting it back together again. I can't say disassembly or assembly. Too many S's. These are all loose, so that I should be able to line up the other screws okay. These other screws here. Right, let's come out a bit now. Right, we're still recording? Yeah, good. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Goes in. Goes in. Goes up tight. Down up tight. This one's got the earth-in washer underneath it. It's a different thread, so just remember that. Right, we can put this over to one side. Bring back the screen. Well, for purposes of getting everything together, I shall put it back that way round. Hopefully you can see me fiddling about with those. Get these in. Now my head is actually going to get in the way here if I think I'm trying to put these in. Trying to film things makes it 10 times harder, especially if you're doing it all yourself. Yeah. Right, white, black, pink, yellow, white, black, pink, yellow. So far so good. Now we've got to get this back into its socket. I do take care over this. My head is going to get in the way now, but because I've got to go in close. As guys, I can't see anything. Take extreme care when you're putting these things back in. That's in lovely. Right. That's probably round about, I don't know. Right, where it's located. Now we're going to put it back on. Now to help us line it up, we've got these little holes here, and they will line up with the holes in the back plate. Now you know you've got it roughly speaking in about the right position, and this will slide about and locate central to the screen as you progress. And we'll do that now. Over the top. Now I've lined up the holes, so I can now press that in and hopefully press that side down. I can see that it's gone down about as far as it will go, but the screen, I'm nowhere near lined up with the screen. I'm pulling everything so that we can sort of get lined up. Now, I felt something sort of almost slide into place. These holes are still lined up, so that's okay. Now, if things on the screen and the case together, we're going to turn her over. Oh, it's slid out of position. Make sure everything's nicely done. Perhaps turning it over like that might be easier. Yeah, that is easier. Now I've got to reconnect with a bezel. Now, be careful you don't damage the screen, please. This little thing fits into the bezel nice and easy. Whereabouts? Oh, there's all the buttons. So it goes in. Roughly speaking, no. Yeah, goes in like this. There's a little LED goes over that little light sensor thing there, so it gives you an idea where the position is. Okay. Well, light pipe, not sensor, light pipe. Get in position with that. Take our screen over. Reconnect our little connector. Make sure that's in. Everything's all lined up, and make sure that we chuck our cable in out of the way. Yeah, sort of out of the way. Get this into sort of moderately the right place. The bench is in a terrible mess, so I would recommend when you're putting the screen back is to start by squeezing it at the back. And gradually work your way around the sides. And then come around the front. And hey presto, we'll all click back together again. flip this over. Don't forget to put the bezel retaining screw in. Got to fix the stand on. Well, although I forgot to clean the flux off the board, and I should have done, I'm pleased I did it. And I'm also pleased that we took it apart again, because I think that gives you a better way of taking it apart and putting it back together. Makes it easier. So we all learn by our mistakes. So if you're one of those people that don't do anything, then you never make a mistake, do you? Yes, well, here you go. I know plenty of people like that. Right. Back to the boss with this to see if it works or not. As I said before, I'm going to take a spare with me just in case it don't work.